Now there are a few challenges for Kathleen to talk about music.
Oh, that's
which
why
I know
had
you
Colin
hate.
bring me my phone.
Yes, I know you hate doing that, but maybe if there's recommendations. So there's two here that maybe we can combine because there's Kathleen recommends some good albums, and Kathleen, what would be the best Boards of Canada album to start with? Which I don't know if those are the same. The answer, the same answer could classify for both of those.
Okay. I think Boards of Canada are my absolute favorite band in the entire world. I'll be gentle with my microphone here. They're really, 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 really good, and all of their albums are good, but it depends what you want. Do you want some groundbreaking electronic music that will make you feel a little bit bad because many of the albums that you know and love might have ripped this album off in considerable amounts? Well, in that case, you're going to be wanting to listen to Music Has the Right to Children, an album I've showed people, many people, and that has ruined more than a few people's opinions of later electronic musicians who have come along. But that's basically that album came out in 1998. Nothing sounded like it. It was like, people were like, you can make electronic music that sounds like this. It was the first one to do this kind of like weird nostalgic aesthetic. And basically it made a lot of people listen to this and were like, oh, I would like to make electronic music, or I would like to make music that sounds sort of like this. And the influential tendrils go far outside of electronic music. I could talk for 20 minutes on people who listened to Boards of Canada in 1998 and got inspired to make their own music. It was a huge influence on OK Computer. So there you go. But anyhow, if you really want, now if you like that, but you want it to sound, if you want an album that's themed around occult numbers, which this was actually the first Boards of Canada album I listened to, you would want Gio Gotti, which came out in 1992. It's great, and it is, a lot of people describe it as deeply unsettling. I don't. I think it's fantastic. But if you would like an album that is similarly good, but it is a concept album about being on a summer road trip as a child, and how pastoral and pleasant and relaxing and delightful that sounds, which might be exactly what the doctor ordered in today's day and age, I would go check out the Campfire Head phase. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not so dark and creepy," when it came out, but I think it is legitimately one of the best blendings of electronic music and analog samples. There's a lot of acoustic guitar. Weirdly, for electronic music, it's very, 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 very good. And then if you need a real downer, if you need a concept album that is the soundtrack to a post-apocalyptic movie that never came out from the 1980s, you're going to want to...
Is it that it sounds like that, or is actually it really was?
It is supposed to be the soundtrack to a post-apocalyptic movie from the 1980s that was never released. You're going to want Tomorrow's Harvest, but it's really dark. It's almost like unlistenably grim. And then there's a bunch of EPs and unreleased stuff that's also very good. So there's my Boards of Canada recommendations for you.
All right. And those are also just awesome albums.
They are just awesome albums. I mean, if you want to listen to some awesome albums that came out this year, there might be some spoilers for my end of the year list. I would recommend two albums. Let me just make sure I get the names absolutely correct, because I do listen to a lot of music. Boop. That's the Allman Brothers, not the album I'm looking for.
But a good album.
It is. I listen to so many albums. I've listened to so many albums this year in specific. There we are. There we are. Yeah, that's right. I would recommend the Paul White album, Rejuvenate. It's just nice. It's not dark. It's not creepy. It's got some really nice stuff. If you like the kind of like production style of the Gorillaz, or of like, like some soulful singing over some good beats, I think you'll really like Rejuvenate. It came out and was sort of criminally underappreciated. Nobody listened to it, and it was very good. It's not my favorite album of the year. I think I want to leave that one as a surprise, but if you know me, you already know what it is.
This is the best album you're not listening to.
Yeah, that's definitely the best album you're not listening to of 2018 is Rejuvenate by Paul White. I want to say it's Rejuvenation, so that's why I wanted to double check.